Guys, please let's relax. It's not that deep. It's a movie. We know Odogwu is not a real person. Not everybody is Odogwu. I know who will come after me. The movie is not realistic. I went into this film curious to see if it would give me anything more than the usual handsome prince falling in love with the village girl love story. You know, they say Odogwus do not kneel down. Even when he proposed to her, he did not kneel down. I'm Dr. Chandus and I watched Omoni Oboli's Love in Every Word movie. So you do or do not have to. Today we are going to be taking a lesson in intentional love according to Omoni Oboli's Love in Every Word. At first glance, this movie is not just about love at first sight, but it talks about intentional love which involves purposeful, deliberate effort and decision in relationships.
I see somebody else talking about me.
This movie promises a refreshing take on romance, but it goes beyond that to tell us about purposeful and deliberate decisions in relationships. And according to the title, it proves that you can be in love and not mad or crazy. I went into this film curious to see if it would give me anything more than the usual YouTube movies, YouTube Nollywood movies of the handsome prince falling in love with the village girl love stories that we always see on that platform and on other platforms that show some of these Nollywood movies. I was searching for a narrative that challenges the norms that we are used to. Let me also tell you that intentional love is more than just a movie theme. It is a mindset that challenges us to stand for what we believe in, be clear about what we want, set our boundaries, and to never settle for anything less than respect and clarity.
I still can't believe you made it to Lagos. You're such an intentional man.
Make it very easy for me to love you.
Love in Every Word is not your typical romance story. It is a story that challenges the idea of love and showcasing deliberate choices.
If you say the word, it is only one flight away. I will take a flight and I will come here.
It shows the character as they navigate their love in sanity. Like, it's not the usual story where you see two people in love, falling all over themselves, and they can't help themselves. You see two people finding their way to love with clarity and sanity, and with deliberate choices and decisions made. Trust me, it is refreshing to see love being portrayed as something that can be deliberate rather than something that is left to fate and something that we cannot control, that is fueled by emotions and all sorts of passions. What exactly is intentional love? Intentional love is knowing exactly what you want and taking steps to get there. No games, no waiting around, no playing around. Starting from the lead character, Uzor Arukwe, Odogwu.
Men will get money. You know they do
From the get-go, he is clear about his intentions. Right from when he meets the female character, he tells her, "You're going to be my wife." And he sets off on a journey to make sure and to ensure that he gets what he wants. Who doesn't love an intentional man?
The first time I set my eyes on you, I saw my whole future.
Actually, look, I'm going to marry you.
My two favorite scenes with this character is where he defends her against her bully boss who treats her really terribly.
Call it and shout like somebody that is seeking asylum.
And the second scene where she goes to buy jewelry, and then let me not put too much spoiler so that you can go and watch the movies. It appears that a lot of people favor the Ogene scene.
You didn't give me your number, so I came with my friends. Collect your number.
Now we go to our female lead, Chioma, played by Bambam, as she's popularly called.
Because you're so cute.
She's a modern, career-driven woman who doesn't settle for ambiguity, who has dated a few rascals.
All I'm asking for is $2,000. You and I know $2,000 is not a big deal. You have it. I know you have it. Just don't be stingy.
But has come to know what she wants and what she does not want, and she sets boundaries and says it from the beginning that she knew what she wanted and she was not going to settle, at least not in the beginning.
I don't date Igbo men. His accent, there's the way he talks, it's very boutique.
I like that in this movie, the character have deep, meaningful conversations. Like, he really makes an attempt to know her, which even startles her because in the past she was not used to this trend of people getting to know her.
If I were to be your husband, would you rather borrow money from the bank than take the money that your husband will give you?
offers her meaningful advice about her career, about her life. He makes out time to get to know her, and is not in a rush because he was set in his heart that he was willing to go the long haul. I like that the conversations were not just sweet nothings.
Look, you need to prioritize your own business over somebody else's business. A business that you can wake up one day, you are going to work, and the person can just fire you.
Another interesting dialogue or communication in the movie is where you see her mother being a typical Nigerian mom.
Not my type, please.
Gine, he's not your type. Do you know who we're talking about? We are talking about Itego, wealth personified. Don't do this, so.
I'm trying as much as possible not to spoil this movie, but I'm sure that a lot of people have seen it by now. I really like that they portray that in this movie. Now let's break down the characters a bit more, starting from Uzor Arukwe. I love that his approach is straightforward, goal-oriented, confident, not ambiguous.
Look, I'm going to marry you.
From the beginning, you can see that he was a bold character. A lot of people found this a bit overwhelming, but for me, I saw a man who knew what he wanted and went for what he wanted. That directness in love can be both inspiring and, truth be told, a bit intimidating and overwhelming. Chioma represents the modern woman, self-aware, career-driven. She was earning well, doing well for herself. So for her, the relationship was not a do or die affair. I saw a lot of conversations, stereotyping that she's not the typical Nigerian girl, who asks for money. I do not want to go into all that, but I want to just say that this character was a very bold, confident, strong woman who has everything really going for her, apart from the fact that her relationships did not work. She seemed to be investing more till she met this guy, and it was a bit overwhelming for her because she was not used to being loved the way this guy was trying to love her. I like that for her, this relationship was not about what she would get. It was about she had gone through a lot and she knew what she wanted. She knew her value and stood her ground, at least in the beginning. But there are some practical lessons in intentional love that we can learn from this movie. The importance of clear communication. There's nothing more intentional than communicating from the start about what you are going, what you want, what your goals are, or where you're heading to. And even though this is not a communication thing, our people say that when someone is serious, they are serious.
I am telling you for a fact that you're going to be my wife.
Like when you know someone who is ready, who is who wants to be in a serious relationship, right from the start, for a lot of persons, a man who is ready to settle, so it does not really take them a lot of time to make up their mind. I'm not saying it works for everybody. Before people start attacking me, I'm sure people are frantically typing in the comments, but what I'm just trying to say is that for a lot of men, when they meet who they want to settle with, they know and they go towards their goal. I love the amount of communication that they had in this movie. Like you could see from the beginning, he asked her, what do you do? Tell me about yourself.
I just want to listen to you. I want to hear you talk.
There was a lot of clear communications beyond, oh, I love you. And this is something that a lot of couples need to be intentional about doing, especially if it's a serious relationship. If you don't voice your needs, you will be left in the dark. This film also talks about the fact that setting boundaries goes beyond being difficult. At a point, she had said, okay, she did not like this particular kind of guy. Even when he was showering her with gifts, you could tell that this was a deal breaker for her. And she had clearly stated her boundaries that, look, I don't like this kind of guy. So at the time, she took her time to ensure that, she really liked the guy. And it was not really because of the gifts and all the nice things he was doing to her. Even though sometimes it's good to be flexible in relationships, but it is good to also establish boundaries for what you want. When you establish what you need, you invite a kind of respect that makes your relationship stronger. What I really loved is the balanced passion. I'm sure you'd have heard that theme over and over as I discussed this movie. I love how balanced their passion was. You could see that these guys were head over heels in love. Even when she met the guy before she came back to Lagos, she still took her time. They still had those conversations. The typical movies, oh, they're in love, they cannot help themselves. The emotions are too much. They are dying. My God, if they don't be together, they would. You could still see intentionality. You could see deliberate action. She took her time. You could see her conversations with her friends. You could see, even when people were saying, this guy is a cat, this guy is a cat. you could see that you could be head over heels in love and still maintain your sanity and still be cool, still maintain a level head. Like this narrative all over that people who are in love, they cannot help themselves or they cannot help them. Sometimes love is a deliberate decision. It's something that you say, this is what I want, because if it's a permanent relationship, you know that you're going to be with that person for a long time, right? So you want to tell yourself that I can live with, let me not put it that way so that it doesn't look as if you are settling. But in a lot of cases, it can be a deliberate decision, especially if you see that these are things that you desire for yourself. Now, I like the cultural authenticity of this movie, and I like the fact that they found a way to weave in some cultural elements into the movie. Like we had the Ogene scene, we had Odogwu staying true to himself, the fact that, he did not, he wore his red cap, his outfit, he did not change because he had met, someone he liked, and she didn't even make the effort to change him, because in the scene before that, we are seeing that the guy she was going out with was not the typical, he was a typical jeans and jean and tee guy, with dreadlocks, but she didn't, even though when she saw it, she was like, oh, this outfit is a thing, but that was where it ended. So I love the fact that he didn't change. They say Odogwus do not kneel down. Even when he proposed to her, you could see that he did not kneel down. Sometimes we get fixated on a lot of things. I know who will come after me, but guys, Evu did not fall. It was still a wonderful engagement, and everybody was still happy. Everybody was still in love. Even the accent she did not like. At the end of the day, it became something that she kind of grew fond of. She had even said, I like the way you talk. It's quite funny and everything. She would correct him and he would take correction and they would move on. That's the kind of understanding and love and reality that I liked in this movie. There were, however, some expressions of culture that I wish could have been a bit more authentic. Like in one of the scenes, we saw Odogwu with his pin earring. Like the typical Odogwus do not wear jewelry on their ears and all that. Fine, you see their neck jewelry, but they do not wear like earrings on the ear and some other small things like that. But beyond that, I think they did well with the cultural authenticity. Most of our movies are well directed, they're filmed, the picture quality is great. I don't remember the soundtrack. I'm sure there will be a soundtrack, but it didn't really register. It didn't really register on me. I'm sorry, it didn't register on me. On a personal level, this movie is quite relatable to me because I'm married to someone from the East, and some of the stories are kind of similar, and I'm just grateful for the love of intentionality. Everyone deserves to be loved intentionally, with clarity, with passion, while keeping a balanced head. I think sometimes, at least once in a lifetime, we should experience that kind of love. Now, I'd like to hear from you. What is intentional love? What is intentionality in love to you? Have you decided to set your own rules in love? Drop your Odogwu stories in the comments. Let's have a conversation. This movie has set off a lot of conversations on the internet, and I think when I checked, they had like 12 million views, despite the fact that the video was initially pulled down. It's back up and it's still moving. People are still talking about it, and that is why I decided to put up this review, because I typically do not review romance videos. I do folklore mainly, but this is a trending movie that is all over the place, and some people have said the movie is not realistic. Not everybody is Odogwu. People should allow us. You understand? Romantic comedies are not meant to be real. We know Odogwu is not a real person, but we know that some of them exist. So why not allow? I believe that life is serious enough as it is. I personally do not like to watch overly serious movies, apart from my folklore anyway, because they are historical. But I like to watch movies that make me laugh. Like this movie made me laugh beyond the romance part. There were some scenes that I would just laugh and say, oh, this is so relatable. I really enjoyed this movie, the way everyone is enjoying it. So you should allow us like 45 minutes to 1 hour of pleasure watching this movie. The guy is not a simp. I also saw that narrative of saying the guy is simping, but guys, please, let's relax. It's not that deep. It's a movie. There are many movies out there that portray people as different things. Like life did not end. Life is hard enough as it is. Love in Every Word is not just another romance comedy movie. It shows us that love is a deliberate choice, and that by being intentional, we can create relationships that truly honor us and treat us the way we deserve to be treated and loved. Would I recommend it? Absolutely. If you're ready to rethink your approach to love and embrace intentionality. Don't forget to like it and subscribe to my channel so that you do not miss any of my videos. Remember to love intentionally always. Bye.